Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Big Top. I'm glad y'all enjoyed the last video. You didn't enjoy it as much as I did. Anyway. Comments. I love to get them. I love these, and I'm going to address them. Matura, I probably just barbarized your name there. I apologize in advance. What carburetor we'll put on there next? Well, we did put this one on, and I did the rubber hose thing and made adapters and everything and hooked it up to the reed valve system. And actually this carburetor is this was pretty nice because it does have like a 71 to 72 jet in it. It actually did run it up until the air leak started forming again in the reed valve system, and it was just running stupid lean at idle because I guess the weight or whatever. And I don't want to put it on. This is going on the YD100 whenever I build that bike, because I will be able to adapt the frame to put it in there. This frame doesn't allow me. I don't like the idea of it hanging off to the side, stuff like that. Probably would be a very good carburetor on it. Let's go on the YD100. Second, LA Hubbard. You're right. I never even paid attention. I can imagine you sitting there 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning with your headphones on, critiquing the sound of the motor, and all of a sudden that pops up. That's a good one, and thank you for that. That won't happen again. Johnny's Motorized bikes. It doesn't have the torque of the YD100, that takeoff, which is understandable, but the engine runs really, really smooth. And I mean really smooth. If you look at the video and look at neighbor's dog. If you look at the phone, very little to no vibration whatsoever. It runs flawlessly. Todd Schinner, I think that's your name. Yes, the tolerances on these things are horrible. Fix to address that. And address another part about the flat bar and the tubing and what have you, and what I did. Japanese stuff is always better than Chinese stuff. The whole point of this is, though, I could run out and buy a Minarelli hybrid, throw on there. But that's not about that. That's about this stuff should work. You should be able to make this work good. And that's what this is about. You ever played that video game where you're going through all these quests and stuff and dead ends and pitfalls and stuff until you get to what you want? This is kind of like it is for me. This is kind of a challenge. So it gives me something to do at my age, and it's a lot of fun. Don't care about doing 50, 60, 70 miles an hour. If you look back at my videos, my electric bike, my 82 volt electric, did upwards to almost 50 on a Schwinn Protocol 2.0 mountain bike, which is a good bike. Totally terrifying. Anyway, KTM pipe. you say it was epic. It was more epic for me to get rid of that stuff. And yes, little evil, I fixed the carb. It's done and over with. I will not be putting that back on. I'm going to show you why. And here we go. Did a pretty good job too. I haven't really messed with it. Oh wow, it looks like the jet's still good. That's an 85, by the way. Oh. I hadn't really looked at it. We all know what that is. Yeah, it probably leaks now. Sure. And this wonderful piece of equipment here. I kind of think on this one though, I got a used unit, I really do. But it's definitely not going to be used anymore. We need to get this mess cleaned up. Nice. All right, so we're going to build the carburetor. I'm going to show you what I did. We're going to build the carburetor. We're going to need a clean, very clean working space. Nice. All right, let's get the carburetor parts out on here. Nice. All right, we got to have tools. Nice. All right, let me explain a little about what I did here. Wait a minute, I need a way to measure it. There we go. One other thing, needs some light to really show you all good. That'll work. Okay, let's get started. What I did was machine this piece out. I cut this out on the mill. These fins, I could tell you some baloney about. I did that for thermal transfer to keep this cool. They just look cool and I had the cutter to do it, so I did it. So we're gonna zero this out on millimeters. So we got 1680 on that. And then on the inside of this, you have $14.35. By the way, this is a Hansen carburetor. I cut what you would call probably a velocity stack area. You might ask, well, what's that going to do? Well, getting back to, like I say, I hate bringing this up, but in the RC boats, every one of the Wahlberg 257s and stuff like that, they always have one of these on them. And I think it helps the airflow. And all this is polished in here up to, but not this side. It's just brush cleaned. It's not bored out or anything. That's the original bore of the carburetor. And this is a Hansen. I had this one brand new and never touched it. And I said, well, you know what? Let me see what I can do. Now, another thing too, the choke. Tapped it quarter 20. Industrial super glue, put it in, it's not coming out. This thing to me is a way for air to propagate into the carburetor. Maybe, I don't know. Quarter 20 industrial super glue, it's not coming out. Never used the thing anyhow. They've only just leaked, and other than that, that's it. So when I made this, and I know they're not going to make every intake to or every carburetor the same spec as this. So I cut this down to very, very close. 1895. And when I measured this one, I think it was 19.18. So when this was still on the lathe, I put Flitz polishing compound and held this and lapped this to, I don't know if y'all can see it or not, I lapped this to the carburetor. It is a very, very tight fit. It's going all the way up there. I have that tiny little gap there. So that part of it, to me, is fixed. The air leaks are fixed, the potential air leaks. Even the cap that I put on there, I threaded the cable end to screw into the cap with a nut over it and an O-ring. And I know this is getting a little crazy, maybe, but anyway, what we do is crazy anyhow. So we're going to build this. Let's get it on the bike. And oh yeah, I want to make mention to the person that called me you don't understand where we live down here, and when it rains the road gets real greasy because of the oil refineries up and down here. So I'm not one of those. All right. Try it again. Give me a small screwdriver. Now I'm going to have to keep the eye up. We'll start it. I can't get enough. I've got the idle adjustment all the way in. So maybe if we run it, heat it up, see what it's going to do, then I can take some of the spring off if I need more, but it's not getting any excess air. You can count on that. All right, we're at 0. brakes, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. The top speed 37.65 miles per hour. So that's with a 42 sprocket. I'm pretty good with that. But an interesting thing happens whenever you knock all the air off of them and they can't get any air. They won't idle. But that's all right. I'm happy with that. All right, hit like and subscribe. And 37.5. So that's with a 42. I could probably go with a 36, but I like the torque it's got. So that's it, boys and girls. Y'all have a good day and hit like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.